our Upcycled Origami program for February. And for this month, we are focusing on 2 different holidays or festivals. One is Chinese New Year, and the other is Valentine's Day. So for Chinese New Year, we're going to be folding the paper lantern. Looks like this. This one should be easy for most people to be able to do. This year's Chinese New Year animal is the ox, but I couldn't find a really good origami pattern for the ox. So I decided to do the dragon. It is one of the signs, but also this the dragon is really associated a lot with good fortune and wisdom and a lot of good things in Asian cultures, not just China, but also Vietnam, Korea, Japan. So we're going to be doing this. Now, the dragon is a lot more complicated. And even though you could fold it out of gift wrap, I did this one last night with my gold foil gift wrap, it's really hard to work with. And so this time I'm going to recommend that if you are at all able to find some good origami paper, local stores like Hobby Lobby, they do carry the packs of origami paper like this. And Joann's Fabrics carries books full of origami paper. And last week they were on sale. I'm putting out an offer here. If you're watching these videos and you would like to have some real origami paper to do some of your folding, and you can't get out to those stores, or it's just a little too hard right now, come by Bay County Library, go to Adult Services, ask for me, Kat Khan, and I have several books of the origami paper here, and I will be very glad to give you a few sheets so that you can take them home and fold with them. First off, with the Chinese New Year, most people probably, when they think of Chinese New Year, they think of Gong Hei Fat Choi. That is a Cantonese Chinese greeting, and it actually means congratulations on your good fortune or your wealth. And because a lot of the Chinese who came to the United States were from the Canton region, the southern region of China, and they spoke Cantonese. But in Mandarin Chinese, it's Qin Yan Guai Le, and that does mean Happy New Year. So Qin Yan Guai Le, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly because I'm not Chinese, I'm half Japanese. But so we're going to start with the lantern. And this one you can use gift wrap paper. I just cut this from a roll of gift wrap that I had. And you're going to start with a square. And you can work with any size squares. This one is an 8.5-inch square. This one is a 6-inch square of origami paper. So you're going to start folding it like a Chinese fortune teller. So if you've done that before, so you're going to fold your paper in half in a triangle. Make sure that your colored side was on the table surface so that it's going to be on top. And you fold in half into a triangle, unfold, turn it around and fold it again so that you then have your paper with the X folds. Then you're going to fold your corners in to the center. Like I said, if you've been doing these fortune tellers at school, you're going to be able to do this one. You're just making sure you get all your corners in. So it's going to look like this. Then you're going to turn your paper over, and you're going to fold 2 corners in. And they're going to be the 2 facing corners. Like this. And then turn the paper over again to this side. And you're going to fold these 2 points into the center. So it's going to look like this. So when you have folded these 2 corners in, now you're going to fold all the corners into the center. So it's going to look like this. Now you turn it over, and you see you've got 2 corners that don't have any paper and 2 corners that have these. You're going to flatten these out like so, and that is the top and the bottom of your Chinese lantern. Now, if you want to make sure that the back part stays flat, you can just use some glue, and you're just going to put glue right in here and fold them down. That way they will hold. You might have to put it under a weight or something to let the glue set, but that way it will stay a little flatter like mine did here. That's what I did. I glued the backs down. And that is your Chinese lantern. Okay, now the dragon. As you can see, there are a lot of folds on this. And it's going to get a little bit tricky, so don't get too frustrated. If you have problems with this, don't worry, just keep practicing. But it really will work better if you are using a good strong thin paper like origami paper. To start with this, we're going to start like we did with the tsuru. So you take your paper, and this time the colored side is up, and you're folding in half into the triangle, open up, turn 90 degrees, and do it again. This, turn it over to the white side up and fold in half in the rectangle. And then the mountain and valley folds just naturally fold in when you have your good sharp creases to make your little magic square. So if you remember that from the tsuru. And we're going to continue with that same by folding the open edges into the center crease. Remember we did this? And then you're folding this down, this point. And then you open all that up and bring this point up along that short horizontal crease and reverse some of those creases to make this shape. Remember that. And you want to make sure that your creases are really good and sharp. So just kind of run the edge of your finger along that. Then you're going to turn it over and you're going to do the same thing. So folding those 2 open edges in, fold that point down, and then opening that up. So yeah, now we have the bird base. And this time, for the dragon, what you're going to do is take these two closed points, and so you can see your point in the middle, and you're just going to gently pull them apart. And see all the creases you had to make that square bottom? So you're going to lay it down on the table, and then just sort of kind of fold in along there. Just kind of use your fingers to press so it'll come to a point like this. And then do it again on the other side. I'm pointing it towards the camera so that you can see better what I'm doing. But normally you're facing yourself, having it facing yourself when you do this. So now you've got these 2 points, and we're going to fold them both down this way. And in some books they call this a rabbit ear fold. Now, you're going to fold these 2 edges in at an angle and just sort of following this angle right here. All the way to the point. So it's going to look like that. And this is where things get a little tricky if you're using thicker paper. It gets a little harder to manage the folds. And again, you want to be creasing everything, making those creases as sharp as possible. So now you're going to end up with this shape. Now you're going to fold this whole thing in half, right along that long crease down the center, like this. Just going to straighten out some of those folds. They're nice and neat. So you end up with something like this. And you're going to take this end and you're going to fold it up like so. You're just going to go right to your base. This is about the center of the paper. And so that is going to be the bottom. You're going to fold it right up along that at an angle like this. And make sure that crease is sharp, because now you're going to open up and you're going to do what we call an inside squash fold, following that crease that you made. That's why I said it's getting a little hard. So now it looks like that. And then you're going to open this up, and then you're going to fold each of these edges into the center. And I wasn't quite as centered as I wanted, so my point is a little bit off. But you fold both those in, and then you fold this back over again, like so. This part is going to be the neck and the head of the dragon. Now you need to fold at an angle a little less than halfway down, like that. And this time another inside squash fold. Remember how we did the head of the tsuda? We're doing something very similar to make the head of the dragon. Then we're going to fold this part not quite ½ inch along, just going to fold it back. And then I just kind of grasp that with my finger and then fold back. So it's maybe like 1/8 of an inch. And then you fold that and you're going to fold back again. You need those creases because now you're going to be doing a bunch of these little squash folds. So now you're going to fold back along that first fold. Like that. And then fold back towards the front with your second fold. Like that. And the last fold, you're folding back. So you've got kind of the nose and the crest of the dragon's head. These two flaps here are going to be the dragon's front legs. So you're just going to fold them down, each one down like this. We'll just leave them like that for now. And now we've got the tail to deal with. So you're going to fold up at like so, and you're doing another inside squash fold. A lot of those on the dragon. Okay. And then you're going to fold the tail back towards the head of the dragon, maybe about halfway up or so. And this time you're going to do what's called an outside squash fold. So now you're going to fold it so that that point is going to stick that way towards the head. And then you're going to do another one of those so that the point of the tail will be facing away from the head. So it's another outside squash fold. So there is your dragon's head and the dragon's tail. And now for the feet, you're just basically going to fold up and in. So you're folding it kind of in. And you want to try to make them as even as possible because you want the dragon to try to be able to stand up. My gold dragon didn't do a very good job of standing straight, but we'll see. So like that. And then you're going to fold the points in again a little bit at an angle to make the claws of the dragon's feet. And I always just try to get them together as much as possible so they're as even with each other as possible. There's your dragon. You can sometimes just kind of open up the legs out a little bit and maybe open up the back tail a little bit, and that might help give it a little bit more balance. There is the dragon. Like I said, kind of hard. But if you want a little bit of a challenge, there are lots of different dragon designs that you can find online, and they're all pretty complicated. So that's something that you can just keep practicing and practicing and practicing. Okay, for Valentine's Day, there are 2 different heart designs that we can do. And one is a very, very simple origami heart, just like this. And you can use any paper, any kind of pretty paper. This time I have just a kind of a reddish origami paper. And you're going to start by colored side down. You fold in half into a triangle and open that up and do that 90-degree rotation and fold in half. So now you have this. Now this time you want the points up and down. You're going to fold the top point down towards the center point of the paper, and then this bottom point you're going to fold up, and I usually go just a little bit below the top fold like this. And using this center crease as your guide, you're going to fold the bottom edge of the paper up along that center crease. See, like this. And again, like this. So you can see it's already kind of like a heart, but very pointy. Turn it over, and you're going to fold in the two corners and just kind of use the edge of where the colored edge meets the white as your guide, and just fold those corners straight in like that. Just like that. And then just fold the top corners down a little bit. You don't have to fold them too far down. Just a little bit, as evenly as possible. And when you turn it over, there's your heart. Nice and easy. Now what's fun with these is you can fold them in different sizes. And for example, this one could actually be put on a card just like that. And this is just a regular sheet of letter-sized paper that I folded into quarters. What I also did, you can just glue this on, you can fold them out of a smaller piece of paper. These are pretty easy, so that you should be able to do it. And I just folded a few different colors and then just glued them on, and you can make a homemade Valentine's Day card. So that's a super easy heart design that you can do. Now there's something else you can do for a different heart design that's kind of similar to that, is dollar bill folding. I like to do this a lot. Before COVID-19 started closing up everything, when we went out to restaurants, I would always fold at least $1 bill as a part of the tip that I left for the wait staff at the restaurant. I just cut some paper. The dollar bill is about 6 1/8 inches long and 2 5/8 inches wide. So this paper is roughly the size of a dollar bill. So you're going to take that, you're going to fold it in half lengthwise. Open it up. Fold it in half again, this time lengthwise. So it's a long, skinny, like this. Then open it up. Fold in the bottom edge up to that long center crease, like so. And then you're folding each of those, folding the bottom edge using that center crease as a guide, just like we did with the origami heart, like this. And you turn it over, you have this design. You're going to fold these edges in straight to meet the other edges. And then you're going to fold these top edges down to meet right here where you see that piece going across. So you're just going to fold that whole thing down like so. And then to make it look like a heart, I fold in the center edges at a slight angle like that. And then I fold the outer corners all the way down so that the edge here meets the bottom of that little part there. And that is your dollar bill heart. Now this could also be used if you were sending a little monetary gift to someone for a birthday or Valentine's or graduation or whatever. You could fold any denomination dollar bill. It could be $1, $5, $10, whatever, and fold it into a little heart and put it into the card, and it just makes it look a little bit nicer than just the money in the card. So that's another thing that you can do with that, and I've done that for graduations also. So that is for February. Hearts for Valentine's, dragons and lanterns for Chinese New Year.